In the small bustling town of Willow Creek, where the air carried the faint scent of pine and the hum of daily life, lived a young woman named Clara. At 23, Clara was a single mother to her 2-year-old daughter, Lily, a bright-eyed girl with curls that bounced like springs. Clara's life hadn't been easy. She'd grown up in foster care, piecing together dreams from borrowed books and fleeting moments of kindness. When Lily was born, Clara vowed to give her daughter the stability she'd never had, but the world seemed determined to test her resolve. Clara worked 2 jobs, mornings at a diner where she balanced plates of pancakes and coffee with a tired smile, and evenings at a grocery store, stocking shelves until her hands ached. Her meager earnings barely covered rent for their cramped apartment, and every month was a tightrope walk between bills, food, and diapers for Lily. This month, the rope had snapped. An unexpected medical bill for Lily's ear infection had drained Clara's savings, leaving her with just a crumpled $10 bill in her pocket. It was a chilly autumn evening when Clara stood in the aisle of Harper's General Store, clutching Lily in one arm and a pack of diapers in the other. The fluorescent lights buzzed overhead, casting a harsh glow on the shelves. Clara's heart sank as she glanced at the price tag, $12.99. She rifled through her worn wallet, hoping to find a forgotten dollar or two, but there was nothing. Her eyes stung with unshed tears as she calculated her options. She could skip dinner again, but Lily needed these diapers. There was no other way. "Mommy, look," Lily chirped, pointing at a colorful display of candy nearby. Clara forced a smile, kissing her daughter's forehead. "Not today, sweetheart," she whispered, her voice cracking. She approached the cashier, a kind older woman named Mrs. Harper, who'd seen Clara's struggles over the months. "Clara, honey, you okay?" Mrs. Harper asked, her eyes soft with concern. Clara nodded, though her trembling hands betrayed her. "Just these, please." She placed the diapers on the counter, sliding the $10 bill across. "I'm a little short. Can I maybe pay the rest tomorrow?" Mrs. Harper frowned, glancing at the register. "Oh, Clara, you know I'd love to help, but the manager's been strict about credit lately. I could—" Before she could finish, a deep voice interrupted from behind. "Clara, I'll cover it." Clara turned, startled, to see a man standing there. He was tall, with sharp features softened by a warm smile. His tailored coat and polished shoes screamed wealth, but his eyes held a quiet sincerity. In his hand was a leather wallet, already open. "Oh, no, sir, I couldn't," Clara began, her pride flaring despite her desperation. "Please," he said gently, stepping forward. "It's just a few dollars, let me help." He handed Mrs. Harper a crisp 20, gesturing for her to ring up the diapers and keep the change. Clara's cheeks flushed with a mix of gratitude and embarrassment. "Thank you," she mumbled, clutching the diapers tightly. I don't even know your name." "Ethan Caldwell," he said, extending a hand. "And this must be—" "Lily," Clara replied, shifting her daughter in her arms. Lily, oblivious to the moment's wait, waved shyly at Ethan. "Nice to meet you, Lily," Ethan said, his smile widening. He turned to Clara. "Mind if I walk with you? I'm headed the same way." Clara hesitated but nodded, too overwhelmed to refuse. As they stepped into the crisp evening air, Ethan asked about her life. Maybe it was his gentle tone or the exhaustion weighing on her, but Clara found herself opening up. She told him about her jobs, Lily's love for drawing, and the constant struggle to make ends meet. Ethan listened intently, his face unreadable but kind. They reached her apartment building, a weathered brick structure with flickering hallway lights. Clara paused at the steps, turning to him. "Why did you help us? You don't even know me." Ethan shrugged, his hands in his pockets. "I saw someone who needed a hand. I've been lucky in life, more than lucky. It's only right to share that." Clara didn't know what to say, so she simply thanked him again and carried Lily inside. She thought that was the end of it, a fleeting act of kindness from a stranger she'd never see again. But Ethan Caldwell wasn't just any stranger. He was a tech millionaire, the founder of a renewable energy company that had transformed the industry. He'd grown up in Willow Creek before moving to the city, and he'd returned this week to visit his aging mother. The encounter with Clara stayed with him, nagging at his conscience. He'd seen struggle before, but something about Clara's quiet strength and Lily's innocent smile struck a chord. The next morning, Clara arrived at the diner to find a surprise waiting, a delivery of groceries, diapers, and children's books all addressed to her. There was no note, but she knew it was Ethan. Over the next week, more gifts arrived, anonymously but unmistakably from him. A new winter coat for Lily, a gift card for the grocery store, even a prepaid phone bill. Clara was grateful but uneasy. She wasn't used to accepting help, and she worried about what Ethan might expect in return. One evening, as she left the grocery store after her shift, she spotted Ethan waiting outside. Lily was with a neighbor, so Clara was alone. She marched up to him, her jaw set. "Mr. Caldwell, I appreciate everything, but I can't keep accepting this. I don't know what you want, but I'm not—" Whoa, Ethan said, raising his hands. "Clara, I don't want anything, I promise. I see you working so hard and I know how tough it can be. I grew up here too, you know. My mom raised me alone. We didn't have much either." Clara's defensiveness softened, but she crossed her arms. "Then why? Why me?" Ethan sighed, looking out at the darkening street. "Because I can. Because I've been given more than I need, and you're out here fighting for your daughter. I want to help you get a foothold, not just survive." Over the next few weeks, Ethan's help took a different form. Instead of gifts, he offered opportunities. He connected Clara with a local nonprofit that provided job training, helping her enroll in a bookkeeping course that could lead to a better-paying job. He paid the tuition, insisting it was an investment in her future. He even babysat Lily one evening when Clara had a night class, charming the toddler with silly faces and stories of his childhood dog. Clara began to see Ethan not as a savior, but as a friend. They'd meet for coffee sometimes, talking about life, dreams, and the little things that made them laugh. Ethan shared stories of his failures before his company took off, and Clara admitted her fear of never being enough for Lily. Their conversations were easy, unguarded, and slowly, a bond formed. One day, as winter settled over Willow Creek, Ethan invited Clara and Lily to his mother's house for dinner. Mrs. Caldwell, a warm woman with a sharp wit, welcomed them like family. Over homemade lasagna, she told Clara, "My boy's got a big heart, but he's stubborn. Don't let him overwhelm you." Clara laughed, glancing at Ethan, who was helping Lily stack blocks on the floor. "He's pushy, but he's good." That night, as Clara tucked Lily into bed, she realized something had shifted. For the first time in years, she felt hope, not just for survival, but for a future where she could thrive. Ethan hadn't just given her money or things. He'd given her a chance to believe in herself again. Months later, Clara completed her bookkeeping course and landed a job at a local accounting firm. It wasn't glamorous, but it was stable, with hours that let her spend evenings with Lily. Ethan remained a part of their lives, not as a benefactor, but as a friend who'd become family. He'd stop by with pizza or join them for walks in the park, where Lily would demand he push her swing higher. One spring evening, as they sat on a park bench watching Lily chase butterflies, Clara turned to Ethan. "You changed everything for us. I don't know how to thank you." Ethan smiled, his eyes crinkling. "You already have. You're building something amazing, Clara. I'm just glad I got to see it." And in that moment, under the soft glow of a setting sun, Clara knew that sometimes kindness from a stranger could spark a new beginning, not just for her, but for the little girl who'd grow up knowing the world could be good.